And I'm very lucky to be born with good genes, to be born with a mother, a mother. I said when God created the world, that's my saying, He created mother. And that is the word. Everything in the world is dictated by the mother to the children, how she brings them up, what she says to them, how she guides them. Through life, we need our mother. And the one person I miss most in my life is my mother. And I always, when I make a decision, when I have to make a decision, which I think is very difficult, I always think about it, and I see my mother's image. And then I think, this is it, I'm doing it. Come what may, I'll do it. And that's, I believe, in the Jewish community, in our society, in a Jewish world, our mothers are very much more important than not in the Jewish community, because I deal with a lot of non-Jewish life. And we have much more feeling, much more sympathy. We've been brought up with thinking for other people. And that's one thing we are very lucky to have, these things installed in us for our life. And that makes you wider, look at people differently, and accept it much more. Because of who you are, it's nothing. It's what you do, is what's most important in life. And we all do. I'm sure every one of you do something and more than something. And that's what the Jewish culture, we women are so important in. And I'm here, cheers to the women.
Yeah.
My Aunt Claire in London was very social, very well connected, knew a lot of people. And she said, what do you want to do? I said, I want to do hairdressing. She said, all right. So she got me a job. I was not old enough to do much. I was cleaning, picking up pins, sweeping the floor at Elizabeth Arden in London. And it so happened that they were opening a salon in Australia, in Melbourne. And I was about 14. And I said, I'll go and visit my sister. And she sent me my tickets, and I came. And I joined Elizabeth Arden here. I finished my training here. And I said, I broke Elizabeth Arden's tradition. She never had women hairdressers. Women did manicures, pedicures, facials, all those things, but never a hairdresser. And I was the first woman hairdresser Elizabeth Arden ever had. And I trained myself in my lunch hour. These boys were getting, the names were changed them to Pierre and Philippe and Monsieur Charles. And the English names were just so common. And I used to help them. I said, I'll do the back of the hair. And they said, oh, yes, yes. Oh, you don't know how to do it. I've seen you do it, and I'll do it like you. And I started the backs of hairs. And then earned higher up there. So they were working on commission. So the more I did for them, the more money they got. So I was working, I became a hairdresser overnight. And that's how that's true, you know. It's amazing when you want something hard enough, or you want to do something, or make a life for yourself, what you think about and how you achieve it. I'm sure all of you have gone through this. I don't have to tell you. I'm sure each one has another story to tell. So my aunt in London was a good person to me. She was wonderful. She took me everywhere, and I went to the races with her. That's where I learned to go to the races. And I've had a wonderful life.
I hope you've enjoyed this week's episode of TheShtick. To finish off, we have something very special for you. Just a couple of clips. We'll be getting him back on again, as well as getting Lillian Frank back on, because I think she deserves a lot more space than that, as does Sandy Gutman, also known as Austen, Tayshus, who has recently brought out a book called The Merchant of Menace, just released last week. I don't know if you saw him on Q&A. He was excellent, quite a character. And this book was written by Ross Fitzgerald and Rick Murray, who ghost wrote the book, but it is a fantastic compilation of the life of one of the most hilarious and dangerous and extremely erudite comedians the world has ever seen. So here he comes, and next week we'll be doing a show about feminism, coming to you from the National Council of Jewish Women debate, which was about feminism. See you next week.
This is no bullshit. Jesus was crucified. And I thought, what if Jesus had been put to death on an electric chair? Every Christian would have to wear an electric chair around their neck. And instead of being called Christians, they'd be called electricians. And instead of going like that, they'd go, oh. I can say that because I'm a feminist. And I'll tell you what, I do a lot of great work for the feminist movement. And I was doing a big show for the feminists at a big hotel in Perth only a couple of weeks ago. There was 1,000 feminists in the room. It was Anzac Day. Everybody was out of their fucking heads because they were Australians. And it doesn't matter how ideologically committed you are, to the right or to the left, getting out of it is part of being Australian. Staying out of it is your life. But I tell you what, I had 1,000 feminists in the room. It was Ramadan, Anzac Day. And I come out and I had a t-shirt which said, I love every bone in your body, especially mine. Now, immediately, the feminists were on side. And I said, how many feminists does it take to change a light bulb? 2, one to change a bulb and the other to suck my cock. See where we're coming from here, mate? Because this is satire. And I said to the feminists, God created everybody male, but the dicks fell off the stupid ones.